Hey guys, welcome to BMW Vlog, welcome to our YouTube channel, and welcome to New York. I am here joined by Domagoj Dukec, Head of Design at BMW Group, who is going to talk to us about the brand new 7 Series. We have two cars here, Domagoj, an i7, or that's the i7, and a normal 7 Series. So maybe walk me through the exterior design first, then we jump in and take a look at the interior design.
Okay, of course. I mean, 7 Series is our absolute pinnacle product, and we want to be there, really compete. You know, there are actually not a lot of players, but there's one.
A few, okay.
A few. And of course, in the past, we always tried to make our own interpretation of what should be like really the top of the line luxury. And I think what we did now and achieved is really quite unique, because it's the first luxury at this car saloon which is fully electric. This doesn't exist. You have actually always to compromise. Either you want luxury experience or you want full electric. Okay. And here you don't have to make any compromise, because this is BMW. Okay. Always taking away contradictions. And here, sustainability and luxury, no contradictions. So if you take combustion or electric, you get the same look. Power of choice, how we say. Yeah? Okay. And so what was important here, to be also distinguished, not just to our competitors, but also to our own portfolio. So this is the reason why we have this headlights, in splitted headlights. Yeah? Of course, there are a lot, I know, people will say, but there are also other cars doing this. Yeah, but you know, that's not a secret. But we don't want to do this for all BMWs. There's a different reason why we did it strategically. Sure. Because a headlight normally has multiple functions inside. You have an indicator, you need the daylight, running light, and you have the beam, which is the high beam and illuminating. But you put them normally all in one box. You are limited in designing the beam, because that's a bulb, and there's a LED, matrix LED, and you can't really design. It just has to have the maximum output of light. But the daylight you can design, indicator also. So somehow if you think about luxury, there's luxury where you just, you know, like a nice villa. You also don't show the washing room in the entrance. You have like the nice living area, but kitchen, you have 2 kitchens. One for presenting, one in the back where you cook or so. And this is somehow the same with the light. You have one area where we have even exaggerated this with crystal crafted daylights, Swarovski. So this is the top. This is just show. And there we have freedom to design it how we want. Slim, very modern. And then underneath, here in this area, especially now with the M Sport package, blackened out. So a similar face to the XM. Because XM is the M pinnacle product, and then of course we want a link to the M Sport package. And so as the functional areas, you have cooling for the brakes, for the engine, the side air curtains, that's all functional elements you need as a customer. You expect, I mean, they will know what it's necessary. And the same now is the headlight. The main headlight is just a functional area. Like in the past, you had a fog light. And so we said, this is here with the kidney, the main part, especially if it's illuminated. This is where it happens in body color. Now on black, you can't differentiate it because it's all black and black, but on a lighter car. And the light is underneath. And this is something which we will just reserve for all our top of the line products. So BMW XM, 7 Series and the X7 LCI.
Now let me ask you this about the kidney grille.
Yeah.
How has this changed from the outgoing 7 Series? Is it larger? Is it wider? Is it more sculpted?
Actually in size it's not so much. It's a little bit higher, but the car is also much bigger. Because we don't have any longer 2 different versions. So it's always long wheelbase. Okay. But because the car is higher, because of the battery cells, the car actually appears, not now here, it's big, but on the street, you will always think, oh, it doesn't look like an extended wheelbase. It looks quite sporty. And therefore also the kidney is in proportion, maybe looks even not bigger than on the previous car. But it's of course more sculpted because also we have, as we will have different levels of autonomous driving, LiDAR, LiDAR, also the radar is more integrated. But here on the black, you don't see it so well like on the other one, but it's also just one kidney for electric car and combustion. So we have this intelligent panel for air cooling. Sometimes the electric car needs cooling for charging, supercharger, but it will intelligent, always open just when you need air and close to be maximum efficient.
So that was my next question to you, because if you look at the iX, that intelligent panel is completely different than what you see on the 7 Series. So my question to you was going to be, why are they different then?
Yeah, but actually the iX is one pinnacle product as a futurist and should showcase different technology. But there's a purpose-built car, only battery electric vehicle. Also the numbers and the customers, because we have still a X5, the customers, there are some early adopters which jump, but the car still looks different. Here it's a different strategy, like our whole strategy until Neue Klasse. We will always bring now each new model, electric, plug-in hybrid, gasoline, diesel. So we started with X3, so also next cars, X1, it will be like this, so there's no compromise. These customers, 7 Series customers, it's not like new customers, some will come, but it's actually an established product and you offer it just by region. You have no compromise. You don't have to worry about your powertrain. You get, if there is a 40, 50, I, D, E, you will have always the performance just with it. And the powertrain should not be, there are different strategies, but we believe also that the powertrain shouldn't have an impact on the experience of the product, because in the past we never differentiated gasoline from diesel cars. Why not? Could be the same. We would say, this one behaves different. And electric, this is something which we do, but of course there was an i3, iX, which on purpose also made definitely a different expression.
So before we move to the side and the rear and talk about the design there, final question on the kidney grille. So why the glowing illuminated kidney grille? Is that more of a gimmick, or do you see some functionality there, or maybe just a cool thing to have on the car?
No, we believe it's at night you recognize a BMW just by the lights. But as I said, the
lights are changing now.
The lights are changing, but the lights, actually the main lights. So if you would see, you would just by daylight see, because there you can make signatures. So Mercedes, I don't know, S2, but the bulbs, so where you have actually the light, they're all the same. There's just one. So you can't really, and today, one is copying then again our double headlights. So even if we say this is always BMW, you see them also on other cars. And so it's difficult. And then the kidney is so iconic. We showed it on the XM. There it's completely all around because of the sensors on the bottom. And all future BMWs will have a contour. So not like the waterfall like on the X7 or X6, because it's a LCI, so we couldn't. But all other BMWs will have a contour. And we believe that it's not just you see at night when the car will drive. There are not a lot of cars. You can illuminate the logo, Star, or I think VW has, Volkswagen has just a line. But at night you don't know what is it in between.
Understood.
A kidney you will always recognize. And if there will be like a whole portfolio with illuminated kidney, you will always see, kidney.
I see. Okay, so let's move to the side, talk about the design there. Tell me what's new here. So I can see already the flush handle, so that's new. So walk me through the design a little bit.
So as the car is really much bigger, or it grew in size, so it's like 50, 60 mil higher in total. Has also bigger wheels, not just, it has 21 inch, but the diameter of the wheel is bigger. So the car is much bigger because status and the self-confidence is very important for the segment. But we tried still not to be like a Rolls-Royce, because in presence it's quite close to Ghost. But the BMW harmonious or elegant design you can see in the treatment. So there are this little less lines than before, but there's a little negative. Then also the surface has some lead. So it gives some softness, like a silk going over a surface. Even the bonnet, which looks actually flat, but when you will see it, this is now a frozen car, so you don't read the surface that good, but you would see that there is a certain romantic in the surfaces, and we wanted also the monolithic shape expressed just with few lines, and of course then it helps to have these flush handles, but otherwise we want also that the BMWs in the future, they become more timeless, and timeless you will achieve if you have less fashionable lines.
Okay.
You can add a lot of lines and give a lot of interest to it, but the simpler it is, you won't get bored, but you will never be disturbed because there's nothing, because it's timeless. It's like when you think on an iPhone, there's a shape since generations and it's not changing because it's not important. We want to give with the front end a unique character, front and rear, but the rest will actually be on BMWs in the future more and more.
Got it. So before we move to the back, Hofmeister Kink,
Yeah.
that's changed a little bit compared to the outgoing model as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but actually just bigger, more massive, because we have also here this privacy inside. Also on this car, you will see there is also texture on it. You can have it. But this piece became now also one element, which is a massive one-piece element in metal.
Sure.
So it has a different treatment. It's not like in the past an extruded piece of aluminium. It's one molded element, and especially when you see it in chrome, you can see there's just a little bit more detailing.
So let's move to the rear, because it's quite interesting, especially the tail lights. They're quite unique. They resemble a little bit the iX, right? I mean, just tiny bit, but they're quite unique.
Yeah, I mean, iX, but also a lot of other cars. I mean, if you go, even the 7 Series today has such lights underneath, but there's one combining above.
Yeah.
But also, it's very typical L-shape light, but it's three-dimensional, so it's growing out. There's also one element which you can have in dark chrome or in chrome.
Okay.
So it's on the exterior. Normally, it's similar like in the front. Normally, you would have this element here is actually you can have it in chrome or in black. And this is quite new because normally you have also the box and you have the light bar inside, the chrome inside. But as we think also circular in design, we think you can make here the light or the surface of the light is actually the exit of the light.
Okay.
So you don't have the light bar behind the glass. The glass of the lamp is the light bar.
Understood.
So and therefore it's more efficient, and then also the chrome is on the exterior.
Okay.
So it's not inside, it's outside. And so it's somehow also more rethink in terms how we design it. Yeah?
Okay.
And of course it looks clean. We also didn't want to, because on the previous 7 Series, on the LCI, we had this connected light. But we believe also for BMW, we know there are a lot of competitors doing this. We decided strategically also for us, this is not something which is BMW. We want also to give the sportiness by really slim but separate headlights.
So before we talk about the badges, because there is an interesting story there too, and this one doesn't have one. Tell me about the redesigned tailpipes. So those are a little bit different than what we've seen on the current model, right?
That's the only model which has tailpipes.
Okay.
Because all others, the others they don't have them.
Yeah.
They're pipeless, like the electric. So you have actually no differentiation between the i7 and all the other combustion versions. Just the M, because there's not a real M7. But in the strategy, we will have all the M performance models now with 4 exhaust pipes. 4 pipes. So you will see this also on X1 and all the cars coming. And
so all of the M Performance, future M Performers will have the quad pipes basically.
Not round. They will be like, because it's not the high performance, you will have it will be a little bit different, more styled. and for M we will have them then more performance
So they will
oriented.
stay true to the
But
M,
four, always
Okay.
four. Yeah.
And about the badge, so
Yeah.
my understanding is that you've changed the badge a little bit, so the 7 stands out more on the cars, but then you have the letters following that are a little bit different. So what's the idea there?
This will happen not just on the 7, but on all our models.
Okay.
You will see soon. So the idea behind was actually when you do an I450. Yeah? So today there's on the left side I4 and on the right side 50. But of course we believe that BMW has a very strong, iconic also lettering or naming, which was always 330,
Sure.
735.
Yeah.
It was always 3 letters. And we were thinking, but how can we do it that we don't just put an I in front, that you always read what is the model. So it's actually I7, 30, 40. But somehow you still have 740 in the brochure. And so also then, even if you have an M2, for example, could be then an M2, 30 or 40. Yeah, because then I think even the is already also badged like this, the G42, M240,
Stands out a lot more,
that it's more linked to the high performance model. It's an M2. It's not an M240, it's an M2, but just the 40 version. And so.
All right, so we've talked about the exterior design, interesting. I think it's time to go inside because the story of the 7 Series actually continues inside. It's quite interesting and unique. So maybe we hop into the back seat, see the theater screen, and then you can also tell me about the new interactive bar and some of the other things that are happening in the front. So let's do that. All right, so what do you want to start with? So maybe the theater screen first? That's probably
Of course. That's
the centerpiece. Like, would you call this the centerpiece?
definitely.
Yeah.
You're wondering why all companies, they put so much effort just in the front. So, like everybody like pillar to pillar and back. But actually, where do you really have time? Because as a driver, you can't watch a movie. It's even not allowed.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the back, mainly the only option is like bring your own device and so. And here you have space. And I mean, this is now really a big one, and it's also by touch. Yeah, so we believe, and this is really a new experience, and we believe in such a car where you can't just watch a movie, where you can do a lot of things, internet or so, and also the interaction.
So
where
the door controls.
door controls, door ports, how we call them. Before we had them just in the center console, just one, but actually we would have to share it. Like. Okay, Horatio, did you finish your seat adjustment? And now it's more for you.
So those are all touchscreen, basically.
Yeah, touchscreen. You have actually
embedded in there.
Exactly, and you have you adjust everything. Exactly. This is now Fire TV. Okay. But if you go home, you will see you have all the things. Yeah, you have everything. Yeah. Okay. So you see seats, and when you go on the seat, you can do really everything.
Okay. Very interesting. What else is new in the back here? Any other luxury amenities? So reclining seats, of course, right?
But seating comfort is much, much softer. Okay. This was always like in the previous 7 Series, you were sitting always the feeling, because it was hard, BMW always a little bit, but compared to Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, you had always the feeling you sit above. And now, of course, seating comfort is much, much higher. And then nor mechanical door handles. It's all electric. The integration of also how we integrated speakers.
You also
much
have
nicer.
In the
Exactly.
Headrest, probably.
Headrest. Also how we treated, for example, the decor. So when you change wood, it always comes also with the headrest here. And this is like nice detailing. Also the glass roof has now some really nice Art Deco lines. You can have also the glass roof without this one, so you don't see it now, but it looks very nice. But the main thing is, of course, in the front. The front, it's already a philosophy which we started with the iX, that we want to reduce and minimize pieces, parts. So decor is not just a useless decor. It's this interaction bar. We called it also art bar, because it's smart. And you interact, so it's the illumination, the air vents are integrated, so on the top and bottom you don't need this air vents which look always a little bit old, so you don't see it, and you have all the interaction, all the switches are integrated in this bar, and you can also illuminate it, so it's a nice experience which is sensual but also highly functional. Yeah?
So tell me a couple of things. So one, why the flat bottom on the steering wheel? Mostly a function choice or form? Or?
Oh, it's also aesthetically. Yeah? Okay. I mean, you could do it completely round. Of course, it's ergonomically easier to enter, okay. Yeah? But mainly all our sporty steering wheels, I mean, go from sports car, they are flattened, yeah? But it's actually more an aesthetic. Yeah?
Okay. There's some voices out there that complain a little bit about the lack of physical buttons or shortcuts to get to certain functions that people were used to it. Any thoughts behind that? Why did you move all of those into the screen versus keeping those shortcuts?
I mean, there's still a lot of shortcuts on the screen also.
Yeah,
but
true.
So you have shortcuts, but they're on the screen. Okay. And actually, our department, which is just concentrating on, I mean, they make nothing at BMW happens just because, you know, it's like, let's give it away.
So they do usability.
They usability, and so how often do you need something? But there's so many switches still on the bottom where you get immediately inside, and also on the top. If you go on the home screen, you still have. Me as a designer, I would wish, I mean, of course, Tesla has no one, so you need to a while, but still BMW, I think, has still a highly functionality-oriented user experience.
Gotcha. And from a design perspective, was there a challenge having the really large 31-inch screen and also not being able to see through the rear window? Do you think the drivers would just get used to using more of the side mirrors versus having visibility through the...
Actually, so... Because when it's down, it's not. You still see.
So you're able to see.
You still see because when you look on the street, it's not. You never look up. You look actually exactly over the corner.
I see.
And also you have so many cameras and assistants that actually you don't have to look.
I also noticed that in the front seats, you've sculpted the interior of the doors quite a bit. So I'm assuming that's for more lateral space, right?
What means really integration? Yeah. So. Customers, they want like a highly integrated, designed piece of product where you feel actually, okay, each bar, each functional piece is somehow integrated in a holistic experience. Even the cup holders, which are there, but they're very nicely. I mean, you could do just one big clap, but then sometimes you need just one. It's of course more expensive to have two sliders, but it looks quite nice.
Gotcha. Well, Domagoj, thank you so much for this. I'm sure we'll spend a lot more time talking about the car in the future. I appreciate the insight. Looking forward to driving the car once again. I had a chance to drive it. It was a fantastic drive.
I've seen.
And good seeing you once again. Guys, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.